Welcome to Koala Gardens. I'm Katrina and have I got a treat for you today. This video is brought to you by my alpha producers Jeff Anderson, Rich in Alaska and Lynn, and your name could be here too if you want to hop over to Patreon using the links below. You could become an alpha producer, which is the top level, but there are loads of other levels of support you can choose, down to as little as $2 a month, and every little bit helps. I also want to give a shout out to Rich in Alaska for another generous extra donation this month. It makes all the difference in the world. Today we are going to see Super Mama Onyx, and look, there's that Joey sitting in her lap looking out at the world. So fantastic. And I want to acknowledge the Widjabul people of the Bundjalung Nation, on whose land I'm so proud to live, work and play. Now come on in with me to see what I managed to find. I came along, it was late afternoon, and it's hard to see because I had to stop and I'm trying to get a view through because I'm worried they're going to move, and I can see Joey sitting in Onyx's lap, but then she moves around a little bit and I'm like, I've got all these leaves in the way. Oh, I'm going to have to move and get a better angle. So I moved back a little bit, but I'm still not happy with how much I can see through. And they're sitting quite still, and it made me think, oh, I hope I didn't just miss all of, the time that she was awake, because as you know, koalas are often only awake for a couple of hours, and usually only an hour or so at a time. You can see Onyx is looking at stuff, but don't worry, we do get a treat after all. Now, all of my video will always be free here on YouTube, so if you want to support me, make sure you always smash the like button, leave me a comment, share my video out, and hit that subscribe button. If you can't do a sponsorship like on Patreon or something, anytime you've got a couple of dollars spare, you can throw it into the super thanks using that heart button with the dollar sign on it below, and that helps me find those koalas every day and bring them to you. While I got the quad bike and moved around a bit and found a better way to look through, Onyx didn't even take any notice of me. Instead, she just sort of scooted around a little bit and laid herself back along this branch to start having a big meal. And can you see that Joey is laying on her belly while she does that? Now, I've talked before about how when Joeys are getting big in the pouch, mums tend to go into this kind of posture. And one of the reasons they do that when they're in pouch is to take some of the pressure off. But it's also preparing both of them for this way that mums are able to look after their Joey, but be able to use their hands to grab the leaf they need to feed with. This Joey is around 7 months old, and Joey will have already papped and will be starting to nibble on leaves, but is still mostly dependent on milk. This Joey is still a little bit too young to be riding on mum's back, and when they're doing that we call them back young. But this Joey is what we call front young. So Joey is coming out of the pouch, but is only sitting in mum's lap. And can you see the nose pattern on this Joey? Let's freeze just for a moment and have a look. That's a lot of pink on the insides and the underneath of the nostrils of this new Joey. That's going to be a really good pattern to be able to identify this one with later as the Joey grows and comes and goes. Oh, what a delight. I'm just going to put a little bit of nice music on and let's just watch these two for a couple of minutes. really do have to wonder though, don't you? How does that little thin branch hold both Mum and Joey up? Koalas are the most amazing arboreal animals I've ever had the absolute privilege of seeing. Remember, I'm never as close to the koalas as it might appear because of the great zoom that I have on my camera. You can see how late it is in the afternoon because there's so much shade on the lower parts of the trees as the sun is going down. Are you like me and could pretty much watch koalas all day? I guess you are if you've gotten this far through the video and are still watching. Now watch this. Joey starts to give a little scratch and it makes Mum start scratching. You know how like if you scratch a dog's belly they'll do that? I can imagine that's exactly how it was for Onyx in that little moment. Onyx seems to have sort of eased off a bit having her meal there. Oh no, she says, I might have a little bit more. I think that when I came along she was well over halfway through her meal, and I did film, of course, more of this than what I'm showing you. I've tried to cut it down to the most interesting bits. And in true koala fashion, of course, she starts to turn her back on me to eat. So I've got lots of footage just of her back while she's eating. But once she'd finished that, she sat up a bit. Again, look at that thin branch that she's sitting on. It is just amazing. You can see that Onyx has got both her feet braced up, holding onto that upright branch, as well as she's now holding onto it with her hand. And she's looking like she's just trying to sort of decide, do I want more to eat or am I done? And you know, it's like that. There's always room for like one more leaf, isn't there? But after a little bit more of a nibble, she sat up again, and I can see that she's kind of heading into the it's probably time to settle down mode, even if she's wondering if she might have one more. I mean, it's at the point now where if the leaf is not just right there in her face in easy reach, then it's too much bother. Now just look above her knee as she's scratching. There's that little Joey face, so Joey is still sitting in her lap. Mum's having a bit of a scratch and Joey is going to get back into the pouch now to have a drink of milk. It's hard to see because her leg's in the way, but here we go. Joey's starting to push head down and turn around to get in, and Mum is just curling over going, I guess that's what mums do. And Joey's wriggling around, getting into position, because this Joey still needs to drink lots of milk and Mum needs to sleep, so she's really making a little cubby hole cave there to keep Joey in place. And guess what? You've made it to the end of yet another Koala Gardens video. So would you take a moment to write in the comments below, best mama ever, and make sure you did smash that like button. Thanks for watching. There's loads more amazing video coming your way soon. Another way that you can support what I do here is anytime if you just want a pair of socks, maybe you want to give a pair of socks to a friend for a gift or a coffee mug, whatever it is, hop over to my Redbubble store and have a look at all the designs there and see if there's not something that's just the right thing for what you need.